Hello and welcome to MGP328. I'm Kevin. With me as ever, there's Sheepdog, Anna and Pab. Say hello, boys and girls.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Pab, question for you.
Go on.
Why do you count down 3, 2, 1 before you press play and you press record? There's only you involved in this process. You can count it in your head.
Because I didn't want you to jump in at some point as I'm about to press record. That's just simply the only reason. You're prone to just shouting random stuff as I'm pressing record.
You're more likely to encourage us to make a noise and do something by counting us in like that. Again, spent that theme tune with my hand in my mouth because you do that.
Yeah, it is a bit of a risk, Pab. You'll learn, but clearly quite slowly.
Well, I don't think he's capable of learning. I think it's been enough episodes now. We should know better.
Agreed. Pab?
Yeah.
Sort it out for next week. Oh, who's not got their phone on silent, eh?
Oh, Pab.
What's
Jesus,
all this?
It's not my phone. It's not my phone.
For goodness.
God. Whose phone is it? Tell them to leave the room, Pab.
Oh,
You're trying to do a podcast. You got people in there with their phones on. What is this?
ruined everything. We've got to start again.
Two warnings in one evening. Your review's coming up.
Hey.
Your probation ends in like a week, and look at you.
We book him his MGPX hotel, and then he just gets slack. He's got what he wanted now. 2 years just to get himself a free night in Peterborough. That's what it was. That's what it's all been about. He's got grand prize.
I cannot wait.
It's all gone to your head, mate. It's all gone to your head.
How are we all on this fine week? We know how Pab is. How's the rest of us on this fine week?
I was fine until we started. I mean, 2 minutes, 30 seconds, Pab. Ugh.
Anna, are you having a delightful evening?
Yeah, except for you being a monster all night.
She's talking
I'm
to
not
Pab.
being a monster.
She's talking to Pab, Kev.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Anna's been withholding information from me, and it troubles me greatly. In fact, I need to crowdsource a solution to my problem, and this feels like the most appropriate audience to crowdsource this information from. Anna has started Mario Kart 8 mind games with me, and she beat me and said the reason she beat me.
I know what she must be doing.
Hold on, let me tell the story, and then you can tell me your solution.
Go on.
She beat me and then said the reason she beat me is because she's discovered a secret that I don't know about. And now she's convinced, and it's been eating away at me. We've played it 3 or 4 times since, and I now can't beat her. But I don't think it's because she's doing anything. I think it's because she's got in my head and got me thinking, what can she possibly be doing? And I'm spending more time watching her screen to see what she's up to than I am watching my own screen and actually racing. And it's become a self-fulfilling prophecy.
So I'm guessing it might not be what I've thought of then, but is she making her car do the flip while when it goes over jumps?
No, I know about that. It's not that. I do that.
Okay. Damn.
But because she says, I've been watching your screen and I know you're not doing it. So that was my first thing, because that was probably the last thing about Mario Kart I learned, other than the fact that we were playing with all the tutorial stuff on. But that wasn't that wasn't relevant. But yeah,
is she properly power sliding with the back buttons? I know that's an obvious one again that's been in the game to start. Is she doing the obvious again, pressing the button at 3 and going really 2 and going really quick?
We are both doing that. I realised you're supposed to press at 2 for years. I've been trying to time it with 1, and I'm wondering why it doesn't work every time. But as part of my research to try and find out what's been going wrong, I have discovered you're supposed to press it at 2.
It's at the end of 2, start of 1, isn't it?
Yeah, so I'll be doing that better from now on. But I do that probably half the time as it is when I miss time trying to do it on 1. But
she's probably been honking her horn and just thinks that's funny. And...
No, I'm convinced that she's just a master of mind games. And she took the opportunity to get in my head when she beat me, and now it's ruining me. I need to know. I've watched so many Mario Kart 8 tutorial videos. I've read so many articles on tips and Mario and guides, and there's nothing. I haven't found anything I didn't already know.
What is it, Anna? Spill the beans.
No.
But the listener wants to know. Think of the... this could be like internet
I'll
points.
put my fingers in my ears for 20 seconds.
No.
They're going in now. You're safe.
No.
Can't wait to listen to this back tomorrow morning.
Do you know what it is, Pab? You're going to redeem yourself?
No, I haven't got a clue. I've not played Mario Kart in a while.
Oh, I see.
Right, I'm back. I assume she's just told you all about it.
I just can't think what it would be. Like, it's getting in my head now.
Yeah, that's what she does, that little laugh, where I'm like 80% sure she is just messing with me, but it's the fact that she keeps beating me. But the intelligent side of me knows that the reason she's beating me is because I'm watching her screen most of the time, trying to work out what she's doing. So of course she's going to be beating me because I'm not concentrating.
You're not dropping the weapons in the opposite direction or anything like that. That's another obvious one.
That's all easy stuff that everyone knows how to do, though.
I know, but it's just you don't know, do you? She might have not known. I'm talking like you're not here, Anna, sorry, but I'm just trying to think of things that everyone knows you might not have thought of because it feels obvious, and you might just not do it out of choice because it's not that useful. I don't know. Interesting.
If it turns out she's just discovered drifting, I'm going to be furious.
She's not going to tell you now, though, either. Because
no, I know. I'll never know. That's the most frustrating thing. I will never know. I'd like to think on my deathbed you might tell me.
Maybe one day.
So that means you've got to fake your deathbed now.
I can. Yeah, I think it'll be worth it.
Would it be worth it, Anna? Is it that good of a secret?
I think it is. I keep winning.
Yeah, but you're winning because you're messing with me.
So it's genuine. Do you promise on Kevin's life you're not just messing with him?
Pardon?
Do you promise on Kevin's life you're not just messing with him? It's genuine.
Not on my life. Do it on Andy's life.
On Andy's life, I'm not messing with him.
You've genuinely got something that you don't think he knows about.
Yeah.
Interesting. Because I was going along the same vein of you're just messing with him.
Why would I mess with him? He's annoying.
Because you know how fun it is to mess with me.
And your knowledge of Mario Kart is above average. You know all the things that you should plausibly know to play the game, yeah?
Yeah, I should think so.
Oh,
enough.
That's going to eat me alive.
Welcome to my world. I just turned it off earlier and said I can't play anymore.
Yeah,
you've ruined it for me.
You said no, I'm not playing it anymore.
Yeah,
so
you've ruined it because I know I can't win, and it's not even because of the secret technique you use. I can't win because I'm so tilted by what's going on. I just can't concentrate on it. Oh, it's horrible.
When did she say it? Mid-race or picking the car or picking the character?
Yeah, she's been doing it for ages. It's been like
2 weeks, I should think.
Yeah.
But when she first mentioned it, was she like, I know something you're not doing, while she was picking
I think it was
Mario in
a... As she'd won a race or won a series of races, absolutely battered me and then said, that's because I've discovered a secret.
She's probably just worked out a good car combination.
Yeah, but I've copied her car. I thought of that. I copied her car exactly.
I forget you're 2 weeks deep on this mystery.
Exactly. I've been working all the angles on this, and I'm getting nowhere.
Fascinating.
And the only detective I know is the one hoodwinking me.
That's a good point. But then she's not a forensic what's the word? Cyber forensic person. She's a crime scene investigator.
I've done
cyber crimes? You've committed cyber crimes.
No, I've found out how you investigate them and stuff, and how to access data and all of that gubbins.
So what you're saying is you've committed some sort of crime here, and
I've even flicked through the textbooks that she's got lying around to try and get some tips, but she's studying fires at the moment, and I don't want to have to burn the house down to work out what she's discovered. Oh.
What kind of CSI book just randomly gives a hint about Mario Kart?
Well, no, it'll teach me how to investigate, but it's only investigating fires.
Okay, I couldn't follow your train of thought there. It was just, yeah.
This is the level of desperation I've got to. I think Pab knows. That's why he's keeping so quiet.
No, I don't.
I think he just knows better than to talk.
So if you could all tweet at me and let me know what Anna knows, then I can start enjoying Mario Kart again. If we don't get to the bottom of it, this is going to be the theme of this year's MGPX show. Covering what Anna knows about Mario Kart.
Have a queue of people challenging Anna to beat Anna at Mario Kart.
Yeah, or just have a have her play it on screen and people can watch her and see what she's doing.
We just have a corner of the tap booked out with all of our switches set up and challenge Annika on a big banner above.
Why are you all using my full name? That's weird.
It just works because
that's the name of the show, isn't it?
Yeah.
But if I just abandoned looking at my screen at all for an entire race and just watched you, would I see what you're doing?
I don't know. Does
it create an animation on the screen? Would it be obvious when it happens?
I don't know.
Oh.
Well, you should know, surely, because you know what you're doing.
I don't know anything.
Furious.
Do you reckon she's just using the brake? Something that we all just don't do in racing games.
No, I'm still pretty sure she's just messing with me.
I reckon she's using the brake. It's the only thing I can think of that no sane person would ever do.
What kind of pervert would use the brake in Mario Kart?
Exactly. That's why it's so perverse. It's so wrong that she might just be doing it.
No, she's not that low. So anyway, MGPX, that's still happening. I do have a mini semi-announcement for MGPX. Obviously, we mentioned before, we've got Pab's Hotel booked. We've got the event and everything is all booked and paid for now. And I finally have had the money from the Indiegogo come through, which means it is time to order the T-shirts. So we're going to be getting the T-shirt design sorted this week. And then probably within the next 7 to 10 days, we're going to be placing the order for the shirts for the people who've booked T-shirt tickets through the existing Indiegogo. But the Indiegogo itself, it remains open. You can still go on this. If you wanted a shirt and you haven't had a chance to get one yet, we're not going to be putting the shirts on general sale. We're just going to do a bulk order of them. So if you want a shirt still, now is the time in the next 7 to 10 days to get back on the Indiegogo page, lelujo.fm/MGPX, book your T-shirt ticket, and that way you'll be included in the T-shirt order when we do that in the next week or so. So, yeah, T-shirts are going to be a thing, and we're going to get them properly designed, and they're going to be awesome.
Very cool.
Awesome. They are going to be very cool. That's specifically what I'm going to ask for. Very cool T-shirts. Better than the last MGPX ones.
I can't even remember them. They were that good.
They were. We had two varieties. We had the gun variety and the no gun variety, if you recall.
I do recall now. Yes.
Yeah. I've moaned about Anna being mean. I've asked how everybody is on this fine week. I've talked about MGPX. Not played any games, so I think that's the end of the show.
I mentioned before the show that whilst I shot you down last week about talking about Captain Marvel, I ended up seeing it 2 days after.
It's old news now, though, isn't it? No one cares anymore.
Yeah, we can still have a brief chat about it, I reckon. I mean, I basically said to my wife, we ain't going to get a chance to see this unless I bring it up in conversation. And my mum will say, I'll watch the kids, you go see it Sunday morning. And then I forgot I'd said that. And then Saturday night we had a conversation and I said, I really want to see it, but we haven't got a chance. And she went, go in the morning and I'll watch the kids. And I looked at Claire like, oh my God, I didn't even try and it worked. So yeah, we saw it Sunday morning at the cinema in Essex. So it's a $5 a person to see a film, Kev. A $5.
Right.
Is that a lot? Or is that good?
No, that's amazing. It's like a billion bajillion pounds in Peterborough.
Yeah, but do you get a nice recliner seats like you do in Peterborough?
It was a very nice cinema, yes.
You get a recliner?
I think it did recline. I didn't recline it, though.
Wow.
I made the mistake of, I made the usual Sheepdog play of buying a drink, and they didn't have a sweet popcorn. They'd ran out of sweet popcorn. And rather than nipping to the nearest shop and buying some sugar, they were just selling salted popcorn. So I said, I'm not eating salted popcorn and bought crisps instead, which I realise now are just salted. I could have had salted popcorn. I don't know what's wrong with me. But I ate and drank all of that before the film had even started, and they spent the whole film desperate for the toilet. It was terrible. I'm not doing that for Endgame, sorry. I need to remember. I'm only saying that now because I need to remember when Endgame's coming. I need everyone to remind me, don't buy a drink in the cinema, Sheepdog, you fool. So for the week that film comes out, everyone just spam me, don't drink.
Sounds like I still get better value for money out of the cinema than you do, because I don't buy a drink and popcorn in there. So you might be paying a $5 for your ticket, but I'm paying a $10 and getting my sweets from B&M for £1 and maybe a cup of coffee on the way in if it's a late showing. But I'm still
I think we probably spent
money.
We definitely spent less than 20.
Although I did get the Captain Marvel souvenir cup with the cup toppers, which were £5.50 each, and we got 2 of them because I wanted 2 figures. So I did spend £11 on pop for this one. But Anna did get a special Captain Marvel Coke Zero mix as part of that, which was just cherry Coke, wasn't it?
But your tickets for the 2 of you would have cost more than everything cost for ours at this one. I don't know why. View just had this amazing every film's a £5 for the rest of time thing. It's weird that they call it that because I think it's a limited time offer. I don't really get why they're doing this, but I'm thinking I need to go down there now for Endgame because I resent paying Showcase so much money. They're terrible. But anyway, the film was awesome, wasn't it? Very good film.
That's correct. Review over.
God, I just hit my monitor screen with a pair of scissors.
What?
Sorry, I didn't even mean to say that out loud. I just accidentally stabbed my monitor with a pair of scissors.
Why are you holding
them.
scissors?
I was playing with them, and I
don't play with scissors, Sheepdog.
Well, they're not scissors; they're like
knives.
You hold it into a candle, and you go all the way down, and then you snip the wick of the candle once it's all burnt. It's like a wick trimmer.
You really are just the worst kind of person. I mean, who burns enough candles to need a wick trimmer? Please have a word with yourself and sort your life out.
It's my wife, but I was obviously playing with it because it's next to me. I'm sitting next to a candle, and I just thought, ooh, I'm going to trim a wick. I've never trimmed a wick before.
We have never seemed so out of touch with where we were when it all began. You are now a man with a wick trimmer.
Well, yeah, but the what's this thing called? A candle. This candle has never looked finer. I just trimmed the wick right off it.
I've never even felt the need to trim the wick of a candle.
Well, now I realise how gangly and weird they look. I've just given it a trim.
I mean, I don't remember the last time I lit a candle. I've got electricity in my house. I don't need candles.
You always light candles, Kevin. Don't lie. You love a candle.
It's only because I have a lot of birthdays.
I don't know why we like them. I don't know. Mood, the scent. I don't know.
You're in a mood, so you light a candle.
Maybe. It's not lit at the moment, actually. Where's the lighter gone?
Probably can't reach down to the wick now because it's too short.
That was crossing my mind as I said it because it's in the bottom of a little jar thing. Can we... I'm going to talk about games, dare I? I've only played games I've already played, so it's been frustrating because I'm playing games I've talked about before. But I'm frustrated because with the old Captain Toad, it's still making me sick. So I've been looking up, like I always end up going through these phases, looking up ideas and ways around it. And I came across a thread on Reddit earlier today where people were saying they've invented a headband to go with VR headsets that sends a vibration into people's ears now. And somehow that vibration starts triggering a piece of the brain that filters out stuff that otherwise would annoy us. And it's going through all this weird logic that, like, you know, I assume you're all wearing clothes right now.
No.
And you might be, now I've acknowledged it, you might notice the feeling of your clothes on your body, but the reason you don't feel your clothes when you walk around day to day is because there's part of your brain that filters out background nonsense. And this vibrating thing is supposed to stimulate that and stop you feeling motion sick when you're in VR. Now, I'm trying to read more about it, but I'm thinking I might just get one of these things and strap it around the back of my head for literally every second of every day. Because I was reading the story and I actually commented it saying I'm sat at my desk in an office and I'm feeling motion sick at the moment.
Take some hair to it. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
So I'm thinking if this thing is legit and they've cracked it, because apparently deaf people with a certain like problem with their ears that means they can't hear don't get motion sick. They put them in one of those what they call vomit comet things that they test astronauts in, span them around like mad, and they were sat playing cards. Apparently they just didn't care. And whereas again, I couldn't sit in an office chair. I just felt like the whole world was spinning and I was going to be sick. And
you got to stop drinking so much, Sheepdog. Then the world won't spin when you sat in an office chair.
But no, I'm excited because I've been talking about this on the podcast for 8 years, and I may be able to complete Captain Toad and play shooting games and Shenmue and stuff like that.
So now he is a man who owns a wick trimmer, and he's going to get himself a headband.
Yeah.
So you're going to wear it all the time?
Oh no, but I might wear it when I'm playing games. Like
you You go and playing tennis all the time.
If it's literally that's all I've got to do, wear it round my head. It's not a helmet. It's literally a band. In the picture, it was just dangling around the back of the person's head. From the front, you shouldn't even see it. But if that stopped me feeling dizzy,
you wear that for the rest of your life.
I'd wear it as often as necessary.
You go to bed with it on.
Well, I don't get motion sick when I'm laying down in a dark room. No, that's literally the only cure. I have to go and lay down in a dark room in my boots, yeah. I'd probably be able to smoke cigars without that happening, Kev. That's the only reason that happened. I basically smoked a cigar too quickly and then got extreme vertigo and went nuts. It's
lied down in the street. It was superb.
It was ridiculous. But no, I'm excited because technology and gaming have come up with the answer to my problems.
Good.
Splendid. So 21 minutes in, has anyone got any actual video games to talk about on this video game podcast that we do?
Yes.
Pab, save the show for goodness sake.
Yes, okay.
Don't you dare play Fortnite or I'm cutting you off.
No, I'm not. I have played a little bit for Fortnite, not nowhere near enough to be bothered to talk about it. I've played some more of Division 2. I've probably played nearly 12 hours of Division 2 now. And I've been playing it with people, which is, I know,
I'm playing
insane.
With people now.
Are you?
Yeah, just random people I don't know, just running around.
I know these people.
I don't know these people. It's too hard on your own, I find.
Yeah, I've heard that a bit. I've heard that quite a bit. So, I like this game a lot. It's a very good game, Division 2. I can't quite differentiate the difference between Division 2 and Division 1 realistically at the minute. I can't. It's been that far back, but it feels just like a continuation of what we played, what the first one was. It doesn't feel like there's been that many advancements. I've been playing it probably a lot different to you, Anne. Are you playing the game as it probably should be played?
I just go from here to there. As soon as
are you doing the missions?
Kind of, but as soon as someone goes a division needs your
cash
help
over there,
I just go and jump into other people's games.
Oh, do you really? You just ping around people's map when people put up the flare. You just go to them. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's probably the only thing I haven't done. So, I've only been doing the main missions. I haven't touched any side missions at all. I don't think. I'm trying to think if I've played any. I don't think I have. So the guy I'm playing it with said to me that you don't want to play the side missions until end game because the side missions will give you will give you the equivalent XP of what you have, what level you are. So if you do the side missions at the start of the game, you will only get a smaller amount of XP because you are such a low level. If you do that at end game level, you'll get substantially more XP. So I'm kind of min-maxing it. And it probably isn't the way you should be playing this game because all I've done, I think I've done like 2 main missions maybe. And other than that, I'm just running around, going around getting them caches and getting safe houses.
Well, that's not too bad.
It's been quite fun, to be fair. It's been all right, but I kind of want some story in this at some point because all I'm doing is just running around a desolate area, taking control points and running into safe houses, unlocking the area. Okay, so once you get the safe houses are like what you synchronize in Assassin's Creed, aren't they?
Yeah. So
you get to a safe house and it shows you all the icons on the map that you want, that like collectibles and missions and what have you. So what our like loop was like get a safe house and then just start wandering around that little section, getting all the tech caches. And then you'd want to move on to a next one. Maybe on the way there, you do a control point or one of them, a question mark or whatever it is. One of them broadcasting propaganda broadcasts. That's one of them, isn't it? Where you've got to keep turning the microphone on or whatever it is. And it's been all right. I do like just running around. I finally got rid of the Ghostbusters outfit that I've been wearing. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I got it for playing the beta or whether it was maybe a pre-order bonus or something. I don't know. But I got like this hazmat suit.
Oh, I've got that.
It looks just like a Ghostbusters outfit from the back. And I'm like, but you don't see any of your gear that you're wearing at all. So I was like, I'm taking it off. I can't do this anymore. It's kind of cool, but I'd like seeing what armor I've got on, what backpack you get, and what all the different gear you get. So yeah, I will continue to just dabble with that game every now and again because I want to play more and I want to see more stuff. I want to see where the story goes, even though apparently the story ain't great. Apparently, from what I read in reviews, the story
the story.
No, but I kind of want to see where it goes and see. I want to see the game progress, and instead of me just playing capture the flag kind of things, where I'm just running around from point to point trying to just collect tokens, and I've got so many tokens. I think I've unlocked like all the weapon the cash, the perks where you get like the bigger ammo, ammo capacity, like all the muzzles and all the guns, all the things, and then there's like umpteen different ones. I've still only got the 2. Oh no, did I unlock the third one? No, I feel like I've only unlocked the 2. The drone and the turret I've got at the minute for my thing, for the skill points, whatever it is you get, because they take a lot longer to get. I presume you get them through doing the missions. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to try and do some more of them because I want some other things now. I want the this thing that sprays out like gas, that's flammable gas, and just lights them on fire. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool skill to have. But anyway, have you been playing it, Anna? You playing it right now?
This is the first time I've been on it all week. I haven't had any time. So yeah, I like literally same as last week. It's fun. I'm playing the story sometimes, but I just like when someone wants help, I'll go and help them and just go around shooting because I'm like level 10 maybe. I played last Saturday for a bit, but yeah, every time you level up, you get a pack, a like thing that has loot in. I just like to go
like a proficiency cache type thing, isn't it? Yeah. I know what you mean.
I don't like the fact that you have to go all the way to the White House to get new upgrades. That's annoying.
But to be fair, though, what I found is the fast travel's not that bad. It's pretty good fast traveling.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, zip back there, zip back to where I was, and it's not that bad, to be fair. Could be a lot worse.
It's just, I was in the theatre district, and there's a
side... Oh, I know what you mean, yeah.
There's a side
just let me do it here.
There, and it's right up in the corner, and I can't get to it because it's so hard. There's so many... so many control points that are of the bad guys, and I can never get through, so I can never get to that mission. It's annoying. So
yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, I found like the control points and whatever and stuff that you go to. I mean, in general, I found the enemies don't mess around. They will kill you really easily. If you can't just run in and just blast your way through them because they will just wreck you. They will absolutely just destroy you without any thought about it. It's just unbelievably like you've got to be on the like in cover, and you've got to be strategic with it. You can't just run in at people.
No. So what I found is that the control points, when you take them over, they get taken over by friendlies, and then when you go to a next control point, they will help you take that one over, and then I think that's how you progress through it, because there was like 3 or 4 on the way there, and I was like, I'm just getting killed every time. But I think you got to play it whereas take this control point, get friendlies in. Take this control point, get friendlies in. But it's all right getting the friendlies in, but then you have to keep them stocked up with supplies.
Yeah, because they will lose it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the enemies eventually take it back, and you've got to do it all over again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But apart from it, it's fine. It's more of the same. I've not had any connection issues. I've not had nothing really. It works, I guess. I know some people have been out like having issues, but
I've not heard anything. That seems like connection wise.
Yeah, just it dropping and updates coming through. So when there's an update, they just shut all the servers down, and then you get.
I did get that the other day. I did get an update. It popped up in the corner. You got 30 minutes before we shut all the servers down for an update. I was like, well, we got 30 minutes, lads. Let's get on with this.
But the thing is, they're not down that long. They're not down like overnight or anything. It's quick and easy.
Not just pushing a patch through, I imagine, and just making sure it works. So, yeah.
But that's about it. I've not played anything else.
You not played anything else?
I just haven't had time this week. It's been one of them weeks where I had to go to work, and then I had to take Andy out on Wednesday to appointments, and then I had uni, and then I had uni work, and it's just...
Well, if we've had a slow game week, luckily there is some rather big gaming news we could discuss with old Stadia being announced.
What's that?
Oh, Google's
Live 2.
Anna!
I have been busy.
I can't believe you're more out of touch with gaming this week than I am. Stadia is the new Google replacement for consoles. It's the
not
new
interested.
On Live.
Not interested.
It seems like the kind of Google positive thing they're just going to drop in 6 months when no one wants it.
Thing is, with the integration with YouTube on it, that's if they get that right, that's going to be the thing that makes or breaks it. The ability to be watching a Let's Play on YouTube, click play now, and just immediately start playing that game without any install time, no download time, be able to play it on any device. If you're watching someone stream, have the ability to just join their game again with no download, no install, on any device, with any controller. If it works, and they reckon it's going to be ready to come out this year, if it works, that could be huge. That's ridiculous.
Nah.
What? What do you mean, nah?
I'm not interested at all. I like having my discs. I like having my games available to me when I want. You
sound like the old men who used to have their cupboard full of DVDs before Netflix.
I don't care.
AD, wasn't it? AD. Is that his name? AD?
But video games is the last thing, really, that's clinging on to physical media, isn't it? If you look at, we've got Spotify, we've got Netflix. I read all my comics on Comixology. Okay, some of my comics on Comixology. I read books on Kindle. Why are we still using these great big boxes under our telly and buying discs to put in them? Why isn't it all streamed?
You're Mr. I'll jump on any online faddy type gaming thing imaginable. So I don't understand. Surely this is going to lag like crazy.
Netflix doesn't.
What are you on about? Netflix doesn't require any kind of input from me to move characters
I can stream 4K video on it without any kind of lag, as long as you've got
that download
as well.
That buffers in a little cache, Kev. You can't cache moves that you're making split seconds apart.
Easy, it'll be easy peasy. People play online now without lag.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm assuming the good people of, I'm going to call it Google Stadia because Stadia sounds awful and Stadia sounds Australian. But yeah, I assume they've figured this out and they'll probably show all sorts of people playing all sorts of shooting games on it with pinpoint accuracy. But it just, I don't know. I feel like it's not going to. If Pab's there on his supercomputer and Anna's there on her console and you're there in the middle on Google Stadia,
I'm not going to be in Australia.
You're going to get shot to pieces, surely, because you're going to be
anyway.
Yeah, but it's going to be even worse. It's not going to work for you. I don't know. Maybe I'm massively wrong. I again assume they've thought about this. To be honest, all it made me think when I was reading about it is, how do online shooters manage that in the meantime anyway? It doesn't ping. The pinging thing, is the answer there.
Isn't PlayStation Now already a streaming service that works?
Yes.
But I don't use it.
Yes.
And the Nintendo Store thing is an online streaming thing that just works.
No.
Yes, it is.
I don't think you stream.
The NES stuff you do. The classic console stuff.
But that can send you the entire game into your cache temporarily. That's not streaming.
Okay, PlayStation Now then. We'll keep that as the example. That does this and works.
Yes, and it's panned for being bad. For having bad lag and input lag, and it's not great. You need high bandwidth.
It just seems like when you're streaming a 4K video, if your internet is good, then it will stream. But if your internet's suffering, it'll buffer and it will cause problems. Now add in on top of 4K quality, although I assume it would be 720
they
or
talked about
1080.
8K in the presentation.
Well, what I more meant was I imagine it'll adjust like YouTube does, depending on your bandwidth. But it's going to have to let the inputs and everything be the top priority, and then someone like me is going to end up with terrible speeds. Really, I think.
Internet, then, little fella.
I can't. I'm paying for the best internet available to my house. It's ridiculous. I can get 30, and even then, it's not. It doesn't seem to be 30.
It's interesting.
I'm glad we're getting there, and I imagine when part of me thinks when 5G comes out, they're already so BT and companies like that are already giving people backup 4G dongle things that if your internet goes down, they ship one of them to you. You use that until they fix it. So I think 5G is going to be so fast. Maybe we'll all start doing that sort of thing anyway. Perhaps that's my guess.
I mean, maybe. And this is I've not watched it at all. I've just looked at what I've read. Is it going to be like a subscription service that they're doing?
Yeah, I assume so. Yeah.
So you will have like Netflix. You would just have a subscription that you pay monthly, and they have a catalogue of games to play. So there's no guarantee they have everything anyway.
Well, no, but there's no guarantee that PlayStation have everything. It's just another platform, isn't it? But this one doesn't have a physical box.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, in theory, let's say, for example, because they did the test with Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So you play Assassin's Creed Odyssey on there. You love it. You play it for forever, and eventually they go, okay, we're taking that off now. Then what? You no longer can play it.
This is how Netflix and Spotify works, and we're all finding it for other stuff. Why is it why are gamers, the people who are supposed to be at the cutting edge of technology and all this stuff, why are they the ones who are still making the arguments that people were making about music 25 years ago? I don't understand.
I think people who like playing retro games or picking them up don't want to fear that they can never do that again without Google deciding it or somebody else deciding it. It's a weird one because it's like it's giving the person who's making it the control, which is a good thing if you are that person. But people like Dean like to just kind of be wandering around a shop and just come across a game and think, oh, Jesus, I've not seen this game in 25 years or 30 plus years. And, you know, they rush home to try it out on one of their many ancient devices that they've spent time looking after. It's an interest for these people. So knowing that in 30 years' time, all we'll have is, oh, Google are re-releasing Assassin's Creed, are they? Okay, I might try it.
We're already there with movies and music, and it's fine.
We're not, though, because you can still buy DVDs.
You'll still be able to buy games. Xbox and PlayStation is still...
But you'd need a system to play it on then, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you'll still have one. This is an alternative.
You want a Netflix and your Netflix style system that requires no system, but you still need a system for other games.
I've got Netflix and a DVD player at the moment.
Why?
Well, the consoles play DVDs, is my point. I've got Spotify and the ability to play CDs.
Oh no! But
I've got a Kindle and a bookshelf. You're allowed to have both.
Where? I don't believe you. That's too far.
I can see what you mean, but it feels like they're making it easier for you to play games by not needing a system.
Yeah, it's easier to watch movies on Netflix than it is to get a DVD.
Yeah, but it's not all the movies you want to watch, is there?
Ooh, no, but that's not a reason. But we all still watch Netflix. I generally don't understand why games is different for some people. It's all just media. Everything else is streaming on demand.
I feel like
part of me thinks you're more likely to see all the old games. You know, like right now, I don't really have a way that I could go and play all of the old PS1 games, except for the fact they're all on the internet in the in the PlayStation Store, so I can go and do that. It's not like I've got an array of all these games just lying around, or I want to go sink the money into a shop. So I do see that they're there, and it's just I just can't understand why some people want to collect them. I'm know I'm very unlikely
those people will still be able to collect them. The announcement wasn't Stadia is coming by Xbox and PlayStation are both finished now. It was, here's an alternative way to consume video games.
Yeah, it's not going to overtake it, though, is it?
I didn't say it was. I'm saying it's a good idea, and it might be cool.
It might revolutionise the way, because Xbox and PlayStation might go, let's see if this catches on, they might go, okay, we'll do that as well then.
Yeah, so if it's better than what we've got now, then the others might do it too. So either it's better than what we've got now, so everything else improves to also be better, or it's not as good as what we've got now, in which case everything else still stays the same. There's no downside to them bringing this out and having a go. But there's been a huge negative reaction to it, and I don't understand.
I imagine the other way you can look at it is it's just going to be a load of older games that no one really cares about, which is kind of the flip of what we just said. Like if you wanted to play half the stuff they're talking about bringing out on it, you can do that in the comfort of your own home without rinsing your broadband. So it seems to be pointless, but then it's got to start somewhere, I suppose, hasn't it?
Didn't they announce
I'm surprised Google...
a new Doom game or something? And like an exclusive new thing or something.
Is it exclusive? I know they'd announced that they had a game, but I didn't think it was an exclusive game.
I don't think Doom's an exclusive to that.
Yeah,
no, it won't be. That'd be insane.
Mad, because that's the thing. And if it is, it's going to be Doom, 0.5, the half-done edition where they're not really trying. It's just a concept thing.
This is Google we're talking about. They could take Grand Theft Auto and make it exclusive because they've got the money to throw at it.
I was about to say I'm surprised they haven't just bought Nintendo and gone, there you go, right. We're going to start selling these devices that you can just stream it all to it out and about with a SIM card in it, and there you go. Super duper. 5G is going to do it. I know I'm tying that in a little bit, but it's because 5G is like 10 gig broadband. That's stupidly fast. So if you have sort of a very high data cap on that, there's no reason why you couldn't be wandering around with a Switch style device playing these games out and about. So I'm surprised, you're right, really, that Google haven't just gone, yeah, we'll take one of the three, and the cheapest one's surely got to be Nintendo, hasn't it?
No. Nintendo would be the least likely to cooperate as well.
Nintendo.
Oh no, yeah, sure, but surely it's harder for them to convince Microsoft or Sony to sell.
They don't need to buy Microsoft or Sony. They can just get some exclusive games. You just need.
I meant the consoles, not the companies. Yeah, I suppose if they bought the devs, you're right.
You don't need any specific software, any hardware for this. It's not like if they would say Grand Theft Auto 6 was an exclusive to this. It's not like you have to go out and spend £500 to get the console to be able to play it. You just have to use your existing controller, your existing telly, your existing tablet, and just play it.
Sign up.
Yeah.
Just sign up to their service.
It's essentially browser, isn't it? Yeah, they're beaming it to it. Yeah, okay.
For me, all this is the issue I have is just simply bandwidth. And is it viable yet? That is the only issue. If everything went like you say, like 5G speeds, then you can't really see an issue with it, can you? You can't see an issue. But
I'm hopeful that they're in the background doing a lot to make sure that spreads, because it's meant to have better range, better reach, better going through problem areas like walls and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm summarizing a lot of just me being bored reading about it because I find it all fascinating, because I yearn so much for faster internet in this stupid town that 5G is like my only ray of hope. So I'm just hoping that they're somehow thinking, let's just plop a load of these towers all over the country and all over the world, sorry, because I know that the UK is not their focus. And fingers crossed that'll be that. But I don't know. It's interesting. It's one of those you never know, do you? They're more likely to do it than the on-live people. How's that? You have that streaming PC thing. Does that work well with lag and that kind of thing? Has it been good?
It works fine. I mean, I've only used it to play the kind of games I play on it. So a bit of Football Manager, and it works absolutely fine for that, because it doesn't matter if there's a fraction of a nanosecond gap between me clicking the space bar and the game actually continuing. There often is when I'm playing it on my PC.
And I can imagine the timings on Football Manager, if because they're using like supercomputers, aren't they, in the background sort of thing. So it's loading you the week in 30 seconds when your laptop would have taken 4 minutes or whatever, and you're probably gaining massively over that. I don't know. I mean, the type of game that I'm pointing out it being a problem for, I'm never going to enjoy playing unless this magical headset I mentioned at the start of the episode suddenly cures my vertigo. So it doesn't really affect me, does it? The story-driven games I'm going to be playing will be fine. I can't imagine platformers being affected too much, or RPGs being affected too much, or building real-time strategy games and that.
Exactly. Mm. Plus, the important thing is it's going to be so cheap to just try that we'll all give it a try and see if it's any good, and it might be brilliant.
I hope they murder microtransactions and DLC. I hope they just make a rule. Let's get them to commit to not doing that now. They have that whole "don't be evil" thing, or did they get rid of that?
Google's problem though. That's on the publisher's side and the
I know, but
side though.
Google have this whole "we won't be evil" rule, don't they? Or they used to have it. They might not anymore.
Brushed to one side several years ago when they decided to be
evil. A little piece of me is gutted to hear that, but we could put them to the sword on it and say, "Oh well, you are meant to be nice. We'll support it if you don't do that." And whilst they're trying to get it off the ground, they might make a commitment.
So, any more games been played this week?
Yes.
Go on, Pab.
Plenty. I've got a little game that's just gone into early access called Satisfactory.
It is it.
Now, it is insanely satisfying. It is more than satisfactory. So you are...
It.
Sorry? Well, they might do. It's only in early access, so it might not be the final title. We never know. It is a game where you are like constructing things and getting resources to move on to the next level of like tier of like hub that you're building. So you start off, you land on this island planet, and you have to then mine for resources, and you get the resources, and it does the so you start off with like a hub, and it says, right, okay, you need to do this, this, and this to get to the next tier. So you have to get like this much iron, this much copper, and this much concrete, let's say. So you go, okay, so you go over to your there's like a iron ore and copper all over the place, and you just go mine it up, bring it back, you do it, hand it all in, and it goes, okay, next one, you get this much of this much of this, but this time you need wire, which then requires you to craft something from copper, craft the wire from copper. Yeah. So it's like a game where you constantly just like go and getting resources to build something to upgrade your camp sort of thing. And you then like, okay, so I've been mining this stuff. I can now make an actual automated miner. So I make the automated miner to be mining for me while I'm doing the crafting over here. So now I go back to the miner. It's mined 100 iron, 100 copper, or whatever it is. You come back, you build your stuff, you hand it in. Your next challenge is to get this sort of thing, and it's like a big jobs list that you've got of like, okay, I want to make this to upgrade to this like what I've got next. So it's just a constant like jobs list of what you need to do, and it's like, so I was mining all sorts of stuff, and I'm just stood around waiting for it. I'm just stood around waiting for the mining. I'm like, then I'm suddenly like thinking, oh, I could be doing something else. So I just go into the crafting bench and I start making something else to help with completing the challenge to upgrade the hub. And then you then get like conveyor belts and actual automated crafting machines, so you can have like the ore coming out of the mines into the smelter that smelts it into bars, and then on another conveyor belt out of that into a crafter, which crafts it into wires or iron sheets or iron bars or tubes or whatever you need, and it goes into a storage container, and it's just like this to get to this to get to this to get to this, and it's satisfying. I just found myself just playing it, and I was like looking around, and I'm like, damn, I've lost about 3 hours there. Just you don't realise. I feel like it's gone in like 10 minutes, and it's just so, I mean, there's multiplayer in it as well. So I've watched a lot of videos on it, and a lot of people playing in multiplayer. So they move like 5 times faster than I do because they have multiple people doing all the different tasks. Whereas I'm just like, I need biofuel. I need leaves to use in the burner to create energy to then be able to power the miner and the smelter and everything. And the more things you put in, the more leaves you require. So I'm out going mining stuff, and then I'm going out finding leaves, and there's just a constant jobs list of things to do. And it might not sound fun, but there's something to it that is just incredibly satisfying to do. And like, I want to build a factory now. I'm ready to build like a proper factory. I've got floors, I've got walls unlocked now, and I'm ready to actually build like a proper works floor, like a workstation factory, as it were. And it's just cool. I really do like this game. It's bizarre. It's only in early access. It's early access, and I don't even know. I think they're saying lucky to be in early access for no more than a year. So I'm interested to see where it goes. And it looks cool. It's all in like first person. Looks really nice. So yeah, I'll probably come back to that at some point.
And what's that called again?
On the Satisfactory.
Splendid.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool game, that, and it's it's something different. It's not something I would normally go for, but
you were drawn in by the name, the hyperbole of the name.
I mean, maybe I just started. The embargo dropped on it about 2 weeks ago, and they just started YouTubers just playing it, and I was like, okay, that seems interesting. And then watching more and more stuff, and it's like, that is really cool what they're doing, and it just got me in, and I was like, yeah, I'll play that, and it's been great. It's been great.
I've just realised. Hold on, I'm jumping in. You can do your last one in a minute.
Go on then.
Before I forget, I've played something else. I've played something other than Football Manager and Mario Kart. I stumbled across it on the Switch store, and I've since discovered it's 30 on Switch. It's called Not, and it was only £1.79 on the Switch store. It's a very simple game where you basically have a cube on screen that will have a description, an instruction appear on the cube. It might be up or down or left or right. And if it says up, you swipe up. If it says down, you swipe down or click down or up if you're playing it on the Switch. But once you get past the early levels where it's just easy, okay, I'm swiping up, then it'll start to introduce not up. And okay, so now you pick anything that's not up, and then it gets to not up and not up. And not left or right. And it's all about thinking and trying to interpret what you're supposed to actually do. But it sounds really mundane, and I imagine it would be if you're playing it on your own. But the best thing is it's got up to 4-player multiplayer, and it's basically a race against time then. And I was playing this in 2-player multiplayer with Amy the other night, and we almost killed each other because it was getting quite intense in places. And for £1.79, it was just fun. And I've just looked; it's that you can download it for free on iOS and the Android App Store. So if you want to give it a try to see what it's about, you can try it for free, ad supported. And if you like it, I recommend the Switch version with the multiplayer and the arguments and the fun. And that's called Not. Not. Yeah.
Not. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
What is it with these names? You had Satisfactory and Not.
Silly names for less than £2, and I'm in.
Yeah. It's always tempting when you're like, that's worth a go, isn't it? That is worth a go for that.
I played Mega Stand.
If I just release a blank app called Wang Jangle, you're going to buy it. You did play Mega Stan, and you were probably its biggest fan, to be fair.
I am the one who remembers it.
I was going to say critic, but I was trying to spin it positively. Yes, you are. You're the person who will never let it die.
Yes. Okay. My last game has come out today, and it is called Sekiro.
Here we go. What does this mean?
What? Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. It is from Software, and it is the Dark Souls like that is.
That explains why someone I know on Twitter changed their Twitter handles to their username hyphen shadows die twice, and I just thought, you're playing out there. What kind of statement is that?
Yeah, it's so it's set in Japan, where you have like the samurais and ninjas, and you are a shinobi, and you are like I say, you have all like the samurai swords, and it's a cool looking game, but it's still a Dark Souls game, and it's damned hard. I've done like the tutorial area pretty much, and I think I died 3 or 4 times.
What possessed you to get this?
I want to say in the tutorial area, and I was like, I kind of like the Dark Souls games. I kind of like them.
Experience to doing a podcast.
There's something satisfying about playing a Dark Souls game and beating.
Basically, take abuse until you just give up and stop. Well, that's now we know why he's stuck around for 2 years.
He just never stops to see.
As well.
It's I like punishing myself. So yeah,
we'll punish the crap. Don't play that. We'll punish.
It's good though. It's good, and it's so you have there's a few differences this time compared to the regular. It's not just a regular. It's not just a Dark Souls, but they've made tweaks to the systems and to the mechanics and stuff. So you don't have there's no stamina in this game where you'd have like a stamina bar. You have a stance bar instead this time, which if people break your stance, you are susceptible to attacks. There's a lot more mobility in the game, so you have like a grappling hook that is like built into your prosthetic arm, so you can grapple around, and it's a much more mobile game. Whereas to me, Dark Souls was like you're in a big lumbering suit of armor, a big shield, and a big sword, and you just kind of bumble yourself around the place and like lumbering around these big castle areas and whatever. But it's nothing like that. It's much more agile and much more nimble, and you jump around, and it's so far so good. It's like I say, there's tweaks to it, but there's still got the like the bonfires. They're not called bonfires, they're called something else. I can't even think what they're called now. You still have the Estus flasks. You have all the equivalents of the Estus flask, the bonfire, the all the classic Dark Souls tropes are still there. It's going to beat the hell out of me until I inevitably give up. But I did nearly complete Dark Souls 3. I nearly completed it.
That's not completing it though, is it?
No, but it's considerably further than Dark Souls 2.
What you're saying is me and you
Dark Souls 2 was
the same amount of Dark Souls
closer than Dark Souls 1 because I didn't play it.
Now I've watched people play this, and it does look quite hard. Like,
it looks bonkers. Apparently, from what I've seen, is you can where you used to be able to like get away with stuff in like you can kite people away from things. It's like you can get rushed by about 5 or 6 people really quickly just because people spot you from further away apparently, and the enemies shout at each other so they can like call each other to come over and assist. And you can like suddenly like trying to kite one person out of an area, and suddenly find yourself surrounded by like 6 of them, and you're just running away. But you can there's long grass you can hide in. It's a lot more like Dark Souls. You've required you to pretty much just kind of rock up to people, beat the hell out of them until they're dead, and like if you get you could get up behind them and you could do more damage that way. But this is a proper stealth. There's much more stealth involved in this game. You can hide in the long grass, sneak around. There's much more sneaking, which is an interesting mechanic for these games. We'll see how they go on. But so far, so good. We shall probably report in next week because I want to give this another go over the weekend.
Stuff. I can't believe I've not played this yet. It sounds right up my street. It sounds perfect to me.
It seems like. The other thing go on.
While Pat was talking, I downloaded Not.
Good.
I feel sick now. A game that wants you to do the opposite of what you think you need. My brain.
Yeah.
You need one to get only headbands on.
I got to like the second one, and I was like, so I carried on playing. I thought maybe I'll just get used to it, like
That's
I did with Mario Odyssey.
I want to play. I hereby challenge Sheepdog to not at MGPX on the hard modes. But remember, colours starts to come into it the further into it you get, so it becomes fair. I won't be able to see the colours, but you'll be trying not to vomit.
I think that's where I got to.
So
colour.
we're both going to have something holding us back.
Yeah. But now I feel like I'm about to fall over and I'm sat in a chair, so I don't really see that happening.
Amazing. I really
but I do feel like I'm about to fall over. I don't think I will fall over. I don't think I ever have fallen over, which is the annoying thing. But I feel like I'm about to fall over.
Perhaps you need to just fall over.
That's a horrible feeling when you're sat in a chair talking into a microphone.
Like I used to at uni sometimes when I just used to fall over.
Maybe I'll try that after. Well, there's too many things in the way. I'm kind of boxed in by a load of chairs, so it'd be a bit.
Sometimes I'd just fall over.
Why would you just fall over?
It was quite entertaining. We'd just be walking along, and Kev would throw himself on the floor, and
like he'd been like a dive at football,
like he'd been shot,
and I wanted to
like someone's tackling at football.
I don't think anyone ever thought it was a real fall. I think they always knew he was just doing it. I never saw anyone rush to help him.
Yeah.
I don't think he could do that now.
Oh, he probably still does do it.
I don't think you could do that now and get up and not have hurt yourself.
I probably could.
I think he was bigger then, so you're saying that, but he was a bigger man then.
No, I can do squats and everything now, so I'm pretty sure I could.
Okay, when we go to
Bob's up and
he does so little work. His skin's so soft now. He'd probably bounce.
I'd encourage anybody, if you're having a slow day, just fall over, livens things up. And did it liven things up?
I watched someone fall over as I was driving out of the road at work the other day, and well, it made it slightly awkward that I looked out of my left window and thought, do I pull up and help her?
Yes.
And then I thought, this could be a ruse. If I pull up to help her and then someone jumps in my car and drives off, then I've been royally done. And then I thought, that's the kind of life I lead, that I would end up being car napped or whatever. And while I was going through all this deep paranoia, someone else helped her and I drove off.
In their car. Were you the other part?
I don't know. I didn't care. It would have been amazing if I'd have hopped out. But the second I saw someone else getting involved, I stopped thinking about it. It's the first time I thought of it since I saw it. But it was entertaining seeing her go down because she had a big bundle of papers that went everywhere.
Are we about done then, boys and girls?
I reckon so. Yeah. I know we don't do comics now, but does Wicked and Divine finish this month or shortly? They're talking about the final one everywhere. They're going on about how it's coming at the end. The comic is done. The covers are done. They're not revealing the final cover until it's out. I think it is imminent. If it's not this month, it's next.
I don't know.
It's definitely coming to a head.
I'm annoyed with me. I just stumbled across volume 8, however it is, and I was like, "Why haven't I heard about this? What's going on?" What? And I just instantly ordered it, set up to read it. I went, that looks interesting. That one, I've seen that before somewhere. And I started reading it, going, "I've read this." And I start flicking through, and I'm like, I look on the back, and it's just like all the collected standalone issues.
In the notes at the end of
why they
one of the
released
most
that
recent issues, Mr. Gillen himself does say before the finale, you really should have read all the standalones because they are all relevant. They do all tie in. That's why they've released that trade now, because you need to know that stuff for the final story.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah.
Oh, man. It doesn't bother you said that. I'll go back and read it.
I'd have bought it anyway, because I was literally thinking this the other day when I saw, I don't know where I saw something, I was thinking it maybe a few weeks ago, I was like thinking, I hope they actually put these in a collected thing, because I don't necessarily know where I've got them all. I feel like I've got them all, but I don't know for certain, and then I suddenly find out they've got the whole thing collected. I was like, well, there you go. I was disappointed because I went back and read 7 immediately as soon as I found out. I read it all. I was like, I didn't even need to do it because I don't know. They're all standalone.
I just buy that then. If I've got a voucher for work, so I might
there's other stuff
that.
in it as well. There's also other stuff in it.
It's not that magazine one where they interview the characters.
That's in there. That's one of them. That's one of them.
Terrible.
But there are other ones. No, the magazine was part of the thing, wasn't it?
It was, but
that's not in there. That's not in there.
Okay, good.
The standalone one where it's like all written though there is one in there that's all written. I remember that one. The Christmas one's in there. There's also like a funnies one, apparently. I don't know if that one got released. Was there a funnies one?
I saw someone released they put out a little comic one that looks like it's drawn in really low level. It's drawn to be like an actual like a newspaper comic, or from what I could see, or something like that. It seems meant to be like a comedy kind of based one. That's in there as well. I don't think I've read that one. So yeah, I will read it. Paper Girls came back as well out of the blue, didn't it? I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, because we said on Twitter, didn't we? We both, me and Sheepdog, were about to get tucked up in bed together. Not together at the same time. We both noticed Paper Girls had appeared.
I sat down. I was just like, oh. Well, and, that then made me think, when the bleeding hell is Saga back?
So I'm almost run through it for a second time, so I am ready for some more. But Paper Girls is another one that ends in like 4 issues or something, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's so close to the end. But I'm sure that Saga went on a year break nearly a year ago.
No, it's been about 6 months.
Really? Yeah. Oh, it's driving me nuts.
Yeah,
I really want to.
And it's saying a year at least.
Oh, bless
them. It could be a while.
That's been that was the one that really sparked me. I'm so like, I don't know. I'm a bit burned out on reading so much DC, but I've suddenly started reading The Walking Dead again, back where I left off, and that seems to have taken a bit of a turn and got a bit better all of a sudden. I don't know. Maybe I'm just in the mood for it right now. I don't watch the program, so perhaps I'm sort of starved of it enough. But be interested to see if that gets good.
I don't know. It turns out me and Kev read exactly the same book.
Sure, you are. Mr. Miracle and Elliot have both just been released, so we probably just both had them pre-ordered. And
I didn't. I got Mr. Miracle, and then I was planning to read that volume 8 of Wicked and Divine, and then I was like, well, I don't need to read this right now, so I started reading that. I want to like Mr. Miracle more than I do. I like it. It's fine. I think Tom King's too smart for me. It's a smart man's book, clearly. It's insane. I don't know what it is. I just don't. I was like thinking. I kind of get what they're saying, but and everyone's raving about it, and I kind of go,
"Oh, that was
it's all right." Well. Similar to Omega Men. Was it Omega Men? Yeah, people, and I just don't get it. I just can't get into it. And I was like, I think this guy is just too smart for me. I need a handicap or whatever it is. That's just a simple person's book.
It's already a book.
That's what I need. I clearly don't get it.
Rather than reading a simple.
But it's very deep. They're very deep books, aren't they? And I enjoyed it for what it was. I enjoyed it, but I'm still the people have like said like there's all these on so many levels and different theories about it and what have you. And I'm like, I don't dispute it. It's very good.
I have been delighted to find. I think I moaned about this in a weird, kind of ironic kind of way earlier in the year, but I'm delighted to find that after finishing the whole Sandman series collection, the Sandman universe is a thing that's just started. And you were saying about wanting something slightly dumbed down. Well, it's not only written by Neil Gaiman, and so the stories are a lot more just fun stories set in that universe. It's like some other people's views and ideas in that universe with their characters. And that's been quite fun to read because it's still the amazing Sandman story. So if you read any of that and found it quite difficult to read because it is a bit heavy, I've been reading that lately, and that's fantastic. I recommend it, Pub. Because was it you that started Sandman, or was it Kev? Actually,
it wasn't me.
All right. But Sandman Universe is like I don't know, it's very clean art. It's very, not that, I mean, the comics, the original comics are amazing art, but this is just, I don't know, it's very modern looking and very polished and very like just straight story, whereas the original runs are all a bit, they're very like you're dreaming. It can flit a bit. And I read them some nights and reread the same page 5 or 6 times going, I don't know what's going on. I've lost it. Whereas this is just, I can sit and read it. I can read it before bed. I can read it in bed. It's all fine. It's all straightforward. I'm getting it. Either I've got cleverer or this has got slightly dumber. And I'm thinking it's more likely this has got, not in a bad way either.
Because you were reading it with your headband on.
I feel like it's just a straight story that's entertaining.
Right, let's wrap this up.
Maybe that is it. The vertigo was under control.
Monster,
but,
whoever snuck comics in,
I was going to say,
going nearly 10 minutes. I didn't.
Sheepdog.
Yeah, it was me. It was me because they were talking about him on Twitter earlier, and I thought they should have that conversation when it's under the
Twitter
public eye.
Listen to this podcast.
Yeah, not I. Sorry.
We should have, on that basis, we should have had the conversation on Twitter.
Kevin.
Well.
Right, let's talk on Twitter. We have a podcast
maybe we will
at MGUK Podcast, or I am at Lalujo.
I am at RB6K.
I'm at Mr. Lalujo.
That's the only place to find us. Don't look for us anywhere else. I forbid it for you to look for us anywhere else. See you next week, boys and girls. You're welcome.
Have a good week.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening, folks.
Bop, bop, bop.